Good evening, everybody. How are you? It's me, and I'm back, and I got a lot to say. I guess I'm gonna spend these moments opening up to you, like I did the last time. And before I get into that, let's just say I just want to wish everybody a good week. So when you start your day tomorrow, I hope you get up on a good note and positive, and I hope you just let go of whatever you've been holding on to, because the things that I hold on to, I'm gonna share with you, and I hope, and it's like this: the way I share with you is the way you should share whatever you need to share with somebody. You know, the same thing. So anyway, um, let me say like this. I'm gonna get right into it because this is what I'm gonna use this time for. So right now, I have an ex that right now act like she don't want to speak to me. And if you familiar with I don't know what your ex situation is like. See, mine's is like, I try to be friends with my ex because that's like somebody you spent time with and that knows you very well. So now when they're not with you, it's like they have the answers to things about you that they saw wrong and might can feel and help you out with what's going on in your new situation. Well, it don't have to be another individual. It don't have to be. It could be a job. It could be parenting. It could be family. It could be personal. So anyway, my ex got mad at me because a part of us being friends, we kind of tell each other what we got going on in each other's life. And so she had told me that her new relationship, the dude that she's with, he like be up her ass. So I'm just be blunt. I'm not gonna look for the perfect word. I'm just saying how it is. She said that he be up her ass, like he don't trust her. This is a dude that wants to check a girl's phone. Um, he when she's gone for certain periods of time, he's checking on her every time he calls her. He wants to FaceTime, and every little thing basically that doesn't go his way when it comes to her, it sets him off, and he basically accuses her of being with somebody else. Now, in the beginning, I was learning how to accept hearing her being with somebody else. And when I say that, it's because like in the beginning, I'm like, yo, I have a biased ear because like when she telling me how these efforts she making to be with this person, it bothers me to the sense it's like that if you were to put this same energy towards when we was together. So women, yes, men feel that same way too. Like after we not with y'all, and for the most, when I say we, I mean those that think like me. So I can't speak for the next guy, I'm speaking for me and those that are like-minded. But I feel the same way too. I'm like, yo, how you gonna be all that for somebody else and you wasn't that for me? So I got past that phase and I was more accepting of it. Like, okay, if after me you became a better person, then it makes me feel good about myself because I brought either added good to you or brought the good out of you. It just took us to separate for you to shine with it. And so she was telling me how this dude was. And after a couple of days of talking about it, she just makes it like it's getting worse. His actions are getting worse. And, almost to a point to where I think he put his hands on her. And I'm like, yo, that was the line. But anyway, so let me get right to the part I'm going to. So I told her first, I said to her, after listening for a certain period of time, I said, yo, karma is a bitch. Cause like, I'm not saying she used to beat on me, but she used to use her hands when she got upset. And I stayed with her for a long time. And part of the reason I stayed as long as I did, and it's like, I guess for battered women, their excuse is they're afraid to leave. I wasn't afraid to leave. I didn't want to leave for this reason. I didn't want to leave and be the one that walked out on her like the last person. When, it's like right when you did your bad and you want to do good, somebody just up and leave. So I didn't want to be that dude. And then I didn't want to stay there, and right when she was about to change, I left. You know what I mean? So I felt like I was going to stay. And then the third reason is like, I felt like, well, if you're going to do all this, I'm going to stick around to get the good stuff too. So anyway, so after I told her Karma's a bitch, she like, hold up, wait a minute, because, you gave me reason, like you was actually doing shit. Now, while we was talking, I'm saying to myself, I'm like, yo, hold up. You don't remember through the course of our conversations, you telling me about videos you got in your phone with you and another dude? You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, you gonna give him a call? I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm not judging her for that. But I'm like, yo, you know that intuition that women have? I mean, like, dudes have it, but for a dude, I think it's more like logic. Like, some shit ain't adding up. Like, this ain't adding up. So anyway, she got mad at me. And I was telling her, like, yo, hold up. Instead of getting all into your feelings about how I saw our relationship, I'm just saying I can see where you're coming from, because he was acting like you were acting towards me. And regardless of what, she missed the fact that he's acting just like he did. And look how she said it. You gave me reason to act like that. So in other words, I'm saying, okay, so if you're not giving him reason, then why he's acting like that? If you say I was acting the way you say I was acting, that gave you a reason to act the way he was acting, going through my phone, accusing me of being with this person. Part of that, I let affect how I parented my children, because of the stuff I had seen, and I didn't want my children to go through what I went through, as far as like hearing your mother argue with some dude. Now, it's not your father. Now, I've seen how my mother and my father argue, and when my mother and father argued and they got aggressive, my father was restraining my mother. But then it was dudes that was like beating my moms, bro. So when they did that, I didn't want to be behind. I didn't want my mother to be behind closed doors, screaming and yelling, because I knew it always came after that. So when it came to my kids, she was the type to where when she would argue around her kids, I would go in a room with her and try to bring her voice down. And I would be the one quiet. And I guess she took me backing down from her as a sign of weakness, when it wasn't. It was respect for the kids, because I don't want the kids to be going through mentally what I went through as a kid mentally, because I don't know what they had seen before me, and I didn't want to add to that. So she basically was upset. We didn't even get a chance to finish the conversation, because she wanted to defend like the fact that she did what she did for this reason. And I'm like, yo, it ain't even about me and you. It's about, if you came to me about what you going through with somebody else, then that we way past what me and you went through. All right, because your feelings are current. Your feelings are current about the person that you're seeing right now. So how you gonna sit here and act like, I'm the problem? I'm not even the problem. I'm just telling you like this. As a friend, you know me, I know you, and you can check your source. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to mess up your situation. We confide in each other. Like, now people might think it's strange, but I've shared my personal experiences with her, because it's like, in a sense, I don't know how y'all be feeling. Hold on, give me a second, because I don't want this to stop, but I'm going to just, give me a second. 3, 2, 1. My bad. But what I was saying is, I don't know about everybody else's relationship, but the kind of relationship I try to have with her as friends is like this. We know each other very well, in and out. We confided in each other. We had the pillow talk. We did all that good stuff. So now that we take the sex out the mix, we got more to say outside of the bedroom because we could talk about each other's personal experience, and we're not up in each other's face all the time. And this is another thing that she always used to do. When she can't, when she feels like I'm not siding with her, and I'm like, yo, hold on, wait. How do you want me to side with you when we're having a disagreement? You want me to side with you when we're having a disagreement? I'm like, how does that work? Okay, so in other words, we're having a disagreement. So let's just digress from the situation for a second. Let's just back down from it. Okay, I'm gonna check my reason. At first, I make sure that I say anything to give the wrong impression. And if I did, I want to apologize, right? So once I apologize, now I apologize for raising my voice now because I've experienced saying things out of anger, and then they leave room for damage control because now there's stuff they can throw in your face later. He or she, I don't know, whoever you put like this. If you're in a relationship, you understand that. It's like when a person know things about you, they know how to throw things in your face. So anyway, I try to tell her, listen, I apologize for how I said what I said. I had the best intention. So right now we're not speaking, and I'm gonna let a few days go by before I call her because I want to always remind her we're friends first. And because we're friends first, you know, I want you to know that I care about your feelings, and I just want to help you. And sometimes, and women always say this too, and I think guys feel the same way. Sometimes I don't want you to fix it. Just leave it alone. Just listen to me. But when in the course of a conversation and you're asking me a question, why ask me a question if you feel like you're not gonna like my answers? So then it puts me. I'm not walking on eggshells either. I'm not gonna walk on eggshells. If you called me, then you called me because you wanted to hear what I had to say, and vice versa. And I do that too. So anyway, all I'm gonna say is I told her prior to most of the things that she told me, because she'll confide in me and tell me the things that the little sneaky things that she do. And it's the thing, like, how you gonna forget you told me that? Now you can't run it. You can't. I'm the type that. So for security purposes, sometimes when I'm in certain places, it's being monitored. And when I used to get into it with her, I used to always say to her, I wish that God would press rewind so I could rewind what you just said, because you say you didn't say that, and then you try to talk about I said this. And I'm like, see, so I guess when I'm talking about my ex, it's like this. We should be better friends. Because I think that trying to have me to herself was the problem. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I am not monogamous yet. And I don't know if monogamy is the goal for me. All I know is when I get in a relationship with somebody, it's a fight to want to stay with one person. Being with that person is not even a problem. It's just trying to just want that one person. Only that one person. And then I say things like, I don't wear the same t-shirt. I don't wear my favorite underwear all the time. I don't have a favorite pair of socks. I don't have a favorite pair of underwear. I have a certain pair of jeans that I like, certain styles. I have certain colognes that I like. But I only thing I do the same, I sleep on the same bed, and sometimes that vary because I be so comfortable at work that I'll just recline on the recliner, and I'll just crash on the recliner. But what I'm saying is, the more I think about monogamy, the only one I want in my life is God. One God. One God. If you got more than one God, you confused. Because you don't know who to listen to. Because then there's a right and there's a wrong. But if you got one God, there's right. and it shows you what wrong is. You experience wrong, and then there's the God to show you what right is. Because I think that's what experience is. Wrong. So you can learn from it, and then it teaches you right. But so that's why when I meet women today, some women don't want to know about the other women, but they want to know about the other women. And I make sure that they all know about each other. So it's like, if I'm talking to this one asked me, "You ain't got no girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got girlfriend." And like, "What you mean?" I'm like, I said, "Define what you mean when you say girlfriend." Because when you say girlfriend to me, it mean like honestly, a woman of the opposite sex. Yes, I have women of the opposite sex friends. And then it's like, "Oh, you know what I'm talking about." I say, "Here we go with this. You know what I'm talking about." If you were that transparent, why would you be asking me a question? I would just be telling you things that I think you already want to know. And I'd be thinking that you just curious to what makes me who I am. And if I told you that these people are part of what makes me who I am, like if I told you I'm as good at things with women because of other women, why is that so hard to believe? If I'm good at my job because of those before me, why can't I be good at the relationships I'm in because of those that I'm with? I got brothers and friends that I call brothers. None of my brothers are ever saying like, what makes him a brother? I don't even want to put the head bob to that. But what I'm saying is, it's just I don't. That's how I decide who I'm going to have in my circle. Because if I got to start having that conversation to where I got to defend how I am and who I am, that's too much for me. So to my ex, I just want to say like, you were not the problem. To any of my exes, you were not the problem. Monogamy was the problem. I wasn't the problem. You weren't the problem. We weren't the problem. Monogamy was the problem. And I think trying to fight against the law of nature of does anybody have one friend? Well, I'm not gonna get that serious with it. All I'm gonna say is I love you all, you know what I'm saying? And you all meant something to me. And like I love all my children. I was telling my son, this is a little side note too. I was talking to my son, and because his mother makes it seem like she's so upset with me, but because of the things he tells me, not that she says, but the things she asks him when it comes to me, it's the fact that she's concerned to know. Like I have a game out and I got businesses that I do, but the fact that she's still concerned, and I told my son that I still seek his mother's approval through other women, the way he seeks his mother's approval. I think me and my son have that in common. I still kind of seek my mother's approval, but I can't say my mother's approval because my kid's mom makes it seem like I disappointed her so much that I try to do good. So at the end of the day, she's gonna feel like I wish she wasn't my kid's father. And her reasons of basing that might be different, but I just want her to be proud of like the fact that we had kids together. And she's like, "Yo, I don't like how things ended between us, but my kids are cut from a good cloth." So with that being said, I'm gonna end this to come back with another one later. But I hope you enjoyed it. This is Young Caesar. Peace. I'm out.